Creating your brand takes time and investment, so we're hooking you up with a free library of default emotes until you find an artist that fits your style. No, just no. No. Twitch has strong marketing, and this is some of it right here. Okay, so what's my problem with these emotes, these default partners and affiliates can now choose from a selection of approved emotes. What's my problem with this? It's generic. Again, folks, compare yourself to the big creators on Twitch and ask yourself, are you really just following in their footsteps? Are you trying to take the easy way to some semblance of success? You have all these big creators on Twitch, all these so-called big streamers who have streamed and done something else. They've streamed and they've done something else to build themselves up into what they are. In many cases, they have a feedback loop going between multiple platforms that they play to their strengths. And yet, too many people out there think they just show up with their video games and they'll balloon overnight. You know, not thinking about the point of view of the other guy, aka the audience. Why should they watch you? You're the umpteenth person playing Fall Guys. Why you? Why? Why should somebody pay you $5 a month as a Twitch affiliate with a sub, which gets cut to $2.50 after Twitch takes their half, when they can sub to an MMO for $15 a month? Why? Do you provide enough value that essentially you and two of your colleagues are the equivalent of an MMO? Some people just don't think these things through. Just like the people that are going to get caught up in this. So first off, I'm disappointed because some hotshot, maybe recent business school grad who wrote this, is saying brand. The sheer irony of personal branding on a platform like Twitch. Twitch is known for the whole streamer personalities, strong communities, stuff with a human face to it. And yet here we are back to the generic business lingo. Your brand. Was this a recent MBA graduate or a recent business school grad that thought this up? So many people talk about the human side of Twitch. Building a community, making connections with people, making friends, building up a fan base, all that kind of stuff. So many people talk about it, and then suddenly we get back to this brand crap. Something that should be relegated to inanimate objects. Now, I've read various marketing articles about personal branding, and it is the biggest shoehorn job in business. Now, if you want to have a personal brand with regards to some kind of service provider, like maybe some contractor or something who wants to basically differentiate yourself, that's one thing. But when you get wrapped up in all of this marketing talk on a platform like Twitch, you're basically out of touch with your audience. Sorry. Who's watching Twitch? People that are recreationally wanting to watch you in their spare time. That's your demographics, ladies and gentlemen. So why would you want to bring out this corporate work talk when sometimes the very same people that may talk about your brand, then suddenly flip-flop over to the human side of things, like building a fan base, building a community, this, that, or the other. Why? That's one part of this problem, is this business talk right here. And there's going to be people that are going to say, well, Twitch said it, therefore it's right. And they're completely not going to realize how stupid it looks. That you're on a platform whose strong marketing talks about communities and connections and stuff that has a human face to it. And here we are dehumanizing everything, talking about the brand and your meta and blah, blah, blah. It's illogical, not to mention dumb. But just like those creator bootcamp things that talk about no self-promotion, there's going to be people that think, oh, Twitch said it, that means it's right. The other problem I have with this whole thing is a little something where you'd have to have a background outside of all this online media stuff to know what I'm talking about. I don't know how many of you people have used RPG Maker programs before. When myself, it goes all the way back to RPG Maker 2000. And so I played a little catch-up buying Steam releases of various RPG makers when they came out, even though I don't have any use for them anymore. Just to support, you know, after all this time, support. I mean, I couldn't resist fooling around with RPG Maker 2000 back in the day. I was playing games that other people were making. I was involved in reading forums and message boards of people making RPG Maker 2000 games and stuff. And I had one that I was working on, but I'm glad I never released it because it would have been the dumbest thing ever, because I'd only played mostly JRPGs except for Ultima the False Prophet. So it was very linear, very bad game design, very grindy. So it took Morrowind to really introduce me to Western RPGs and how an open-ended Western RPG can be such a good thing, as opposed to a JRPG holding your hand telling a cinematic story like you see over with JRPGs. So it's probably a good thing I never even finished a game for RPG Maker, because it would have been stupid in the long run. It would have been something I cringed at, and in today's world, I might have even wanted to pull the game for privacy reasons. You know, if I maybe had some personal information in the game or something along those lines. So it would have been something that would have been a net negative for me. But there is one thing that I remember from the whole RPG Maker thing, and that is the RTP, the built-in pack-in graphics and sounds that came with the program. One of the faux pas that you could do as somebody working with RPG Maker back in those days was create an RPG and think it was something good by using the RTP. Because everybody knew if you just used the pack-in assets, you just smushed stuff together and thought it was a good game. You didn't put any effort into it, but there were lots of big creators, I guess you could say, who were making these games that were doing a lot more work trying to make it their own and not just going with the built-in graphics and stuff. So the problem with the RTP games and many of the sites that were hosting finished games were like, oh yeah, it's RTP, it's RTP, it's RTP, is that because you were sharing assets with everybody else who had the program, your games would have similarities to their games and would be less special, less your own thing. You kind of cheapen the experience a bit. And that's my top concern with these partners and affiliates getting basically pre-made emotes. Yeah, you can change the colors or something like that. But the thing is, I'm telling you right now, history is going to repeat itself. These affiliates who can't grow into partners are going to wonder why they can't grow. Then you're going to go to their channels. You're going to see technical problems. You're going to see production problems. You're going to see they don't stream on a regular basis. And now we can add to that list. You're going to see generic emotes. So yeah, we're going to see generic emotes now. So we're going to have to talk about Twitch people or Twitch streamers as, do they have generic emotes or do they try and make their own? Because you know what? You know, no matter how tacky it is, I think of a lot of the big streamers that I watch, they put in the effort, or they put in the effort to have someone else do it for them to customize everything. Their alerts, graphics, assets, everything that they use in their streams. You take Mizkif, for example, with all the nice things I said about him, deciding to beef up his YouTube presence. Mizkif has, of course, the egg thing of him, and then when there's gifted subs, you see the egg split into a bunch of other stuff. This cute little stuff like that, that's cool. You know, S-Fan has the do-do-do-do-do, and you know, the thing where he like does this with the headphones. You know, Yugi has the Hate song and her doing the dance. So, Trainwrecks, actually, his gorilla-inspired alerts, because the whole Ape Gang theme kind of inspired me to make a Paladin alert as one of the things I want to do in one of my behind-the-scenes streams. But I want to have something a little bit manly and a little fierce like that, instead of this little electric thing that I got from Stream Elements because it was free. So that's really the thing. People, when it's one of those once you know kinds of things, but when people know that you're putting effort into what it is that you're doing and they can see that and they can recommend you to others, that's when you start getting some respect from people, as opposed to, I checked everything off on a list, now people had better come watch me. It's ridiculous that, you know, what I consider this whole thing to be is Twitch barking people up the wrong tree. But it's marketing, something Twitch is very good at. I don't think this is a good thing for anybody. You can use them, sure, if you don't have any emotes or anything. But how many freelance artists out there are there? How many different freelance artists are there out there that want to be able to do something for somebody else and they're looking for clients? You know, do we really want to bypass all of them with these, you know, these pre-approved emotes and stuff? Now, I hate to make such a dumb comparison like this, but I think that Twitch is creating the online media version of the RPG Maker RTP, the pack-in graphics, the generic graphics. So I'm curious how many Twitch affiliates out there, and the same thing too with all of these like asset selling sites where you can buy graphics and stuff to make your stream look better, when in reality all you're doing is you're buying graphics that make your stream look just like everybody else who's buying those assets and setting the colors to this or that or something along those lines. You're basically showing the world, I'm taking shortcuts. So look at Asmongold. Asmongold with his 5-digit concurrence. What time and time again has he had for production value in his stream? Pretty much what I'm doing right now. What he's doing in a camera picture thingy. So, I mean, he had the generic Streamlabs-y type thing, or the walking dinosaur for his alerts, and I didn't even know what alerts were when I first saw that. But it's just it's just all pack-in stuff. So, you know, where's his super fancy everything? Where? And he has how many concurrents these days? And it's interesting, you know, I have seen streamers that have a bazillion things going on the screen, like I'm watching a stock chart at a trading floor or something like that, and they have like 3 people watching or something like that. But I got all the graphics, I got the nice camera. Yeah, but what you don't have is content, and what you don't have is stuff that says to your audience, I put in the effort to make something good so that the people that watch me feel like they're not wasting their time. So that's the thing. You can look nice, but people will see through if it's all just you trying to look nice. You need to have some substance to what it is that you're doing. So having the nicest looking stream of you sitting there, playing Fall Guys for 7-8 hours a day, that's not the same as somebody maybe with something more focused or something like that. That shows through what they do that they're putting effort into what it is that they do. So, aka a YouTuber. No. To not click the wrong thing, if I can help it. That was the closer I accidentally clicked on. Whatever. Yeah. So, the last two things... So to recap, blah, blah, blah. The 2 things I can't stand about this. Number 1, all the talk about the people side of streaming on Twitch, and yet branding. This marketing dehumanized garbage that I associate with corporate America and work and stuff like that. And it's not really the thing you want to be talking about in front of people that are recreationally watching what it is that you're doing. And secondly, the recreation essentially of the RPG Maker RTP. Why don't we just scroll down and take a look at these pictures here? So yeah, there you go. See all these emotes? Yay. So these generic assets and stuff like that now affiliates are going to grab because if I make my stream look better, it means my stream will grow. No. Look, is this really what it's come to? That freelance artists who want to do stuff like this now are going to be bypassed in favor of this stuff? Well, you can change the color. Yay. Twitch globals exist for a reason. If you want to see emotes that are the same for every channel, with only some minor variants here and there are already plenty of emotes that do that. If you, as a creator, decide to use stuff like this, you are leaving potential on the table in terms of your creativity and your ability to create something through your stream that is completely and truly yours. And again, look at all the big guys. How much fancy graphics do they have? So, no, they have custom alerts, they have maybe some graphics here and there, but they don't recreate this problem I see on so many small streams where they've just made the screen too busy, and it's hard to tell what's even going on, or what game. We can see what game they're playing, but there's just so much on the screen, you're like, what? And you just go watch something else that isn't a sensory overload, so to speak. But it's about strong marketing and how far marketing can go to protect Twitch from what's coming. Yeah. Team Red Ascendant, ladies and gentlemen. Twitch is very good at marketing, but that's not always a good thing. People get caught up in this stuff, and people, yeah. They miss the forest for the trees when it comes to content creation.